What's happening? Thank you. What's happening, everybody? How are we doing on Teaching Tuesdays? It is Teaching Tuesdays. I think some of y'all need to be taught a lesson because we'll get into it, but there's a lot of sympathizers out there for criminals. A lot of people who sympathize with criminals, and I think that's gonna hurt more than it helps. This idea to empathize, to have extend a grace to those who seek to take your life. We're gonna get into it, guys, but we got to do some housekeeping here. So, how are we doing today, guys? It is Teaching Tuesdays. Who do we have in the chat? Be the first one in the chat. You will get a shout out. Be the first in the chat. You will get a shout out. Please like the video upon entry. The video upon entry, guys. I appreciate it. We got Barbara. How you doing, Barbara? What's up? How you doing? We've got Mr. Lee, always showing his support. Appreciate you, Lee. I appreciate you, brother. Always. All right, we got Nikki in the house. All right. Got a new face in here. What's up? How are ya? All right, Ron. Guys, just put it in the chat. Where you calling from? Put it in the chat. Where are you? Where do you hail from? Ron, what's up, Ron? How are you? Shirley, how you doing, Miss Shirley? Appreciate you. Linda. Oh, well, Linda, come on. Love you too. I love you guys too. I really do appreciate it. We're gonna get into it. Ron said, "Go Trump." RJ from Canada. All right, yeah, just drop it in the chat, guys. Where you calling from? Where do you hail from? But yeah, guys. Okay. Couple more shout outs real quick. Jake, what's up, Jake? How you doing, my man? Appreciate you. Like the video, guys. Like the video. If you are not subscribed to my channel, let me actually drop the link here for you guys. I actually got the link this time. I was being proactive. Charles in the house. All right, guys. Look, I'm dropping the link here. So if you have not subscribed, please make sure you do so. Show your boy some love and some support. Oh my gosh, man. I swear. Man, I'm sorry. You guys, I don't know if you can hear that, but I swear every time I try to do something on here, somebody calls my phone, throws me all the way off. Give me 1 second. I'm just dropping this link here. So you guys who have not subscribed, just click that link right there. It'll take you straight to my page. Hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. So that way you'll get all the notifications and all the jazz and all that stuff whenever I go live. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so yeah, you guys saw the thumbnail. Trump is coming back, full effect. Seems like he might not be. Seems like he's not gonna make this this particular campaign about himself. Well, I'm not saying that the last 2016 campaign he made him about himself. What I'm simply saying is, look, we got to be honest. Trump made a few mistakes. Now, look, I'm still a staunch supporter of Trump. I absolutely will vote for him in 2024. But one of the things I think Trump kind of, I think he kind of missed the mark when he started making his administration, I don't know, more of a focus on him. He took his eye off the ball. You know what I'm saying? He didn't pay attention. He didn't steer his administration in the direction of the people. He made it more so about him. And I think that what we're going to see in this short little clip here, where he kind of details some of his ideas, what he plans to do when he gets, God willing, when he gets elected. let's just call that out. But yeah, he kind of details it. And then I think it's a different Trump, guys. I really do. I definitely think it's a different Trump. But let's go ahead and get straight into it. Let me make sure I got this all queued up for you guys. Here we go. There we go. All right, guys, I'm about to pull this up for us. Barbara said he's too old. Oh, man. Barbara. He trusted the deep state and administration too much. Perhaps, Ron. Perhaps. Look, Ben Shapiro made this analogy. He said Trump is like a bull in a glass house. he's a bull in a glass house. He's just, He's a hammer looking for a nail sometimes. He needs to be a little bit more on point, a little bit more precise in his targets. And then, he's more effective that way, because when Trump puts his mind on something, his time and his focus on something, oh man, he gets it done. All right, but here we go. Let's go ahead and cue this up, guys. And hear what our former president has to say here.
Live event taking place at the moment. He is speaking and addressing a rally in Miami, Florida. Let's have a listen in.
American citizens. You people know that? 500. So one drug dealer over the course of his life or her life will kill 500 Americans. And I'm calling immediately for the death penalty for drug dealers and human traffickers, which will, upon its passage, reduce drug distribution and reduce crime in our nation by more than 75% on one day. I used to appoint blue ribbon committees, nice people like Uncle Sam. I'd put him on, a lot of nice people. But they were very wonderful. They'd talk and talk and talk. Nothing would happen. And they'd be afraid to do anything anyway. These wonderful blue ribbon committees made of dilettantes and socialites, and lots of people wanted to be on them. But that's not the way. I was in China, and I met with President Xi, and I said to him, he thought probably somewhat naively, I was a little bit embarrassed.
Fair use.
1.5 billion people. He's president for life, just got president for life. I called him the king. I said, King, what do you think? No, I am not the king. I said, you're president for life, therefore you're the king. But I got along with him well until COVID. Then I said, forget it. Once COVID, the China virus came in, I said, forget it. But I said to him, do you have a drug problem in China? 1.5 billion people. He said, no drug problem. He didn't even know what the hell I was talking about. I said, well, why don't you have a drug problem? Death penalty, immediate. We have quick trial. What's a quick trial? A quick trial is they catch the drug dealer, and within a period of 48 hours, the trial is over.
Damn.
And if he's guilty, unfortunately, they have no choice. They use the death penalty. And you know what happened? They have literally no problem. No problem. We would have the same if we had a meaningful penalty, death penalty. It's not something I want to talk about, but somebody has to. You would stop crime and drugs in this country immediately without all of this nonsense. Right now, if you get caught, they give you a jail for a half a day. They don't do anything.
Yeah.
You would have a meaningful. So he said to me, no, we have no problem whatsoever. And when I said why, I sort of understood why. And you take a look at Singapore and other countries, wherever they have this, they have absolutely no drug problem. You know where the drug dealers, you know where they came? They came to the United States, Marco. They came to the United States of America, where nobody does anything to them. Nobody does anything to murderers. Actually, if you look at the Democrat-run cities, they kill somebody, and the next night, they're back on the street, allowed to do it again. With a Republican Congress, we must also pass critical funding to hire thousands more police officers nationwide in order to put the violent criminals behind bars and keep them behind bars. We can stop crime so easy. We have to give the authority back to the police.
Absolutely. All right, there you have it, guys. There you have it. That is Trump's stance. That is his stance. Now, that is what we're going to talk about. But before we do, guys, I kind of want to give a little context. So, as we know, okay, so the drug problem is not foreign to our nation, right? We've been experiencing this since the early mid-90s with the rise of the cocaine, right? We know marijuana has always been out there, and you saw a surge in meth, right? With the use of meth, distribution of meth, and heroin, make sure I'm saying that right. There's always been an undercurrent of heroin on the streets. All right. But now with fentanyl on the rise, this is probably the most significant and dangerous drug that we're facing, right? Especially when it relates to drug distribution. Now, you have those on the left side of the aisle, the sympathizers, those who feel as if drug dealing is merely a victimless crime. No one's gonna get hurt. The drug dealer's not trying to hurt anyone. I say quite the contrary. I say quite the contrary, right? When the producers, the distributors, the drug dealers, when they put this illicit street drug, fentanyl, into their products, they are doing this with intention. Okay? They are doing this knowing that it will heighten the potential risk of death. So look, what are you trying to say, Neil? I'm simply saying this sounds like premeditated murder to me. And if it's premeditated murder, there's only one way to handle that. There's only one way to handle premeditated murderers: death penalty, because it's calculated. It's calculated. They have no forethought in mind when they're adding these highly addictive drugs and, the already potent, street drugs that we see out there, the meth, what else do we have out there? We have the fentanyl, the meth, and there's some other drugs. Well, they're even lacing marijuana nowadays. They're lacing marijuana. They're putting the fentanyl in the weed. So the kids are just smoking carelessly. They don't even know what they're smoking. And we see how the Democrats have been historically responding to this problem. How are they responding to the problem? They are diminishing the severity of the impact. Let's decriminalize it. Let's decriminalize the drugs, right? They are diminishing it. They're diminishing the severity of the impact of what these drugs are having on our kids, on grown adults as well. I want to show you guys another video. Hold up. Actually, as a matter of fact, let me show you all this graph so you can look at the gradual increase. Okay. That has hit our country within a short span of time too. Look at this. Okay, so let me just start up here. So this is the Pew Research, credible source. This is published January 19, 2022. Nearly 92,000 Americans died of drug overdoses in 2020, marking a 30% increase from the year before, a 75% increase over 5 years, and by far the highest annual total record. According to the CDC, preliminary figures suggest that the 2021 death toll from overdoses may be even higher. Even higher, guys. I can read all this, but I want you guys to pay attention to this. You see this graph here? Hold up. Let me know if y'all can see this graph. Hold up. All right, so this graph here, it says drug overdose death rate among black men in the U.S. Has more than tripled between 2015 and 2020. So that's not too long ago, right? If you look right here, back in 2015, and this is U.S. drug overdose death rate per 100,000 people by race and ethnicity. So 17.3% in 2015 to look where it is today for black men. 54.1%, guys. Tripled. Look at whites. 26%. 26.2% to now a staggering 44.2%. So does it look like this problem is I don't know. Is it going to be resolved anytime soon? Especially with the proposals of the Democrats, their solutions. Let's defund the police, right? Let's decriminalize all these drugs, make it easily accessible. Nikki says, hold up. How can Trump make America great again? One man can't do it. I agree with you, Nikki. One man cannot do this. This is not the job of one man. This, first of all, we need, look, first of all, God is going to have to steer this shit back in the right direction, first and foremost. Secondly, it's going to take Americans standing up and standing in one accord, all together in one resounding voice, stating, we will no longer accept this, and here is the penalty for those who violate. We don't need to have any sort of sympathy or remorse for someone who would premeditate and murder innocent children. Families' lives are being devastated, guys. Their lives are being devastated. So I want to talk about also, guys, the distribution of this fentanyl is so crazy. Like, so today with the, I don't know, we're today in our society, people are more, what's to say? How can I say this? We are in a very highly prescribed society today. Well, people are more people than ever in the historical record are now on prescription drugs, some form of another. They are using some form of prescription drugs, and because of that familiarity and that comfort level of taking pills is less hazardous as opposed to what we saw in the 90s, where you get a needle, you shoot yourself up, you get a spoon or a crack pipe, however they did it back then. But now that we have gotten so used and so accustomed to taking a pill, popping painkillers, prescription pills or whatever you ingest orally, it's less threatening than the previous forms of taking illegal drugs. Now you just pop a pill. So fentanyl, it's being distributed in high volumes in small packages. So it's like I said, it's a lot more easier and more comfortable for kids to take these pills because, like I said, they're taking all of these other drugs already. They're so used to popping a pill. Look, man, I think I had that article, but they were even they're even distributing these pills, these prescription drugs, with different coloring. They're like color coded now, like different colors. I believe it was even being distributed during Halloween, guys. I think there was some warning that was being put out about just children being aware, just being aware of these drugs being given to them. Like the video, guys. Like the video. I want to play something else here. Check this out. Let's pull that down. So you guys got the figures. Remember, I always come with the stats, the data. So you see what the stats look like. The libs can't argue with the facts. And they always like to make this claim. Oh, how does capital punishment gonna serve as a deterrent? What are you talking about? How is it going to serve as a deterrent? Because it's going to make others less likely to commit that crime or to do that crime when they know the severity of the punishment. Come on, what are we talking? This is not rocket science. This is not rocket science. When you make it such a safe haven, especially in these sanctuary cities for a lot of our drug traffickers, when you open up the borders and allow every wretched soul into our country, and they have absolutely no regard for the kids, for the people, all they are seeking is to maximize their product, maximize their profitability. So why not add a little fentanyl in there? Why not? What do you mean, Linda? She said, it's everywhere. Do your research. What do you mean? I'm not sure what you're referring to, Miss Linda. But if you could please articulate that, please. Anyway, yeah, let me play this video here. All right. So just watch this. So this is in Chicago, Illinois, guys. This is what's happening in Chicago right now.
Chicago, our landscape is littered with all the proof you need. Overdoses are sky high and getting worse.
They go to open air drug markets and they take whatever is in that bag. And it's already a problem, you know, the quality of heroin and the dosages. But when you add fentanyl to that, you know, as I was saying earlier, it's Russian roulette.
Yep.
You really have no idea.
It's Russian roulette.
What's in that bag, or what's in those pills that are pressed now too.
What's in the illicit drugs usually is fentanyl. Used by medical professionals, it's an effective, high-powered painkiller. As a hidden and bootleg additive in street drugs, it's a deadly heart stopper.
Fentanyl is becoming pretty prevalent in the area as an additive.
The most recent annual data obtained tonight by the I-Team from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reveals nearly 2,900 deaths in Illinois from synthetic opioids, including fentanyl.
There it is.
Number more than a 16% spike compared to the previous year, and almost 35% more than the year before that. And federal investigators suspect that is an undercount.
And you're saying that drug dealing is a victimless crime? When you're dealing drugs, you're telling me, you're trying to convince me that dealing drugs is a victimless crime. No one suffers because that'll be quote unquote bad business. No, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? People are dying left and right from this highly addictive drug, fentanyl.
Due to incomplete data.
You have the leading cause of death for 18 to 45-year-olds, opioids.
What to do about this disturbing data? Tonight at 10, the ABC7 I-Team with a tactic some might consider.
So what do you propose? Let me press pause. What do you propose, Nikki? If giving them the death penalty, she said, giving them the death penalty, not going to help. The love of money is the root of all evil. So the dealer going to find other to get the drug out. Okay, so what do you propose then? Because we haven't tried that, right? We tried every single thing else, right? We've tried every other policy have proven ineffective. We have no sort of deterrent, no buffer, no sort of fear tactic that would deter a drug dealer from selling crack or fentanyl or any other poisonous substance to a 7-year-old. How else are we going to address this if we're not aggressively harsh? How else are we going to address this? I don't have any sympathy for these guys. I don't. I think, listen, like I said, if you're selling drugs and distributing drugs, harmful drugs like this, look, that's as tantamount as murdering someone. And you're culpable. And therefore, you should answer to God. Directly to God. Go straight up to heaven or to wherever you're going. Stand before God and stare into the faces of all of your victims. Stare in the faces of all of your victims. Let's continue.
Test recreational drugs before using them to make sure they don't kill.
If you pretend it doesn't exist, you're really just fooling yourself. Because this problem, our kids are being targeted at younger ages.
Authorities.
No, it's not about, listen, Sean, it's not about how many 7-year-olds are buying crack. The question is, how many 7-year-olds are accessible to these kind of drugs, these poisonous substances? Like I said, we have an opioid crisis right now where taking a pill is as simple as, going for a walk. It's so casual now to just take a pill for everything. And these drugs are so surreptitiously distributed that now it's like what the guy said in this video. It's like Russian roulette. You just never know. You never know which drug is infused, has fentanyl infused in it. You just don't know. Hold up. All right, hold up, guys. I think I had another one here. Oh gosh, let's hear what Corrine, whatever that lady's name is. What is her name? Corrine John Pierre. Let's see what she has to say about this, because remember, she's Biden's mouthpiece, and she listen. What was her name? The one previous to her. What was the lady's name? Oh gosh, the previous secretary is the secretary. What was her name? Anyways, I can't remember. If you guys put it in the chat if you remember the lady that worked previously to Kareem John Pierre. But here we go. Let's listen to what she says when Peter Ducey grills her. All right.
Overdoses. This is being designed to target children. Drug cartels in Mexico want to kill American kids. What is this president doing about it?
I hear you. I just
Jen Paskey,
200% of increase of drug fentanyl seizures. That is a dangerous drug that we are taking off the street. We are going to continue to focus. This is an important priority for this president.
Stop 300 overdoses. This is being designed to target children. Drug cartels in Mexico want to kill American kids. What is this president doing about it?
I hear you. I just laid out 200% of increase of drug fentanyl seizures. That is a dangerous drug that we are taking off the street.
What about the criminals? What about the criminals? The drug dealers that are distributing the product. Why are we just not talking about that? That's so funny. It goes to, okay, we got to do something about the drug crime, the drug problem. And it immediately goes to, okay, we have to seize the drugs. Great. Hey, look, hands off. Great job. Fine. We have to seize those drugs. Fine. But what about the punishments that should be inflicted upon the criminals? Why are we not talking about that? Why is that not being discussed? Oh, man. Like the video, guys. Like the video. Share it out. Share it out. So I'm going to bust a blood vessel here today. I totally agree. That's what I'm saying, Bob. I totally agree. I 100% wholeheartedly agree. They deserve the death penalty. They deserve to die because they're responsible for thousands and thousands upon thousands destroying homes, and they just get to reign free. Do you not understand this is intentionally being done? Yeah, well, listen, fine. Look, I don't want to get conspiratorial. I'm sure there's a whole school of thought behind that, Sean. I'm not saying that. All I'm simply saying is, what are we going to do about the drug peddlers? What are we going to do to thwart that? Because these drugs have to fall into the hands of few. And those few are the ones peddling these drugs in the communities. And, you know, like I said, even in listen, I got an article here. Let me see. There were two guys in the hospital that was actually giving out these drugs. So yeah, listen, I'm not saying that the government isn't culpable as well. Honestly, look, if you want to be honest here, let's just be honest, okay? China's the one that's supplying the drugs, the drug dealers. China is supplying the Mexican cartel coming across the border, and then yeah, there you go. You got it. That's what's really going on here. If you want to talk about that, but look, what do you expect? What do you expect senile Joe Biden to do when it comes to addressing China about this issue? Not a damn thing. We already know that. He's not going to do a damn thing. But I think that I think if Trump maintains this hard-nosed stance right now on giving the death penalty to drug peddlers, I think that it's going to prove to be effective. And if it happens to you know, to actually be enshrined in law, we're going to see a decrease. I believe we will see a decrease because we need to have some sort of deterrent for this vicious cycle. Because as long as they're getting supplied, they're going to sell it. And they don't care what type of product they're selling and pushing and peddling. They don't care. Like I said, they're trying to maximize their profits. They don't have a damn of a care, a shred of a care. I had a friend that was on fentanyl patch when it was time. When it was time to change it, she would chew on the old one. That's how addictive it was. It finally caught up with her and she died. See, yeah, this is unfortunate, Brenda. This is what I'm talking about. And we would rather have sympathy. We would rather have sympathy for the victimizer as opposed to the victim. Unfortunately, Brenda, this story is all far too common today. It is. And I'm sorry for your loss. But as long as we're going to mollycoddle these criminals and they can just skate free, because we already know the Democrats, they're already lessening the penalties for people who selling drugs because, oh yeah, it's just a victimless crime. They didn't make the person take the drugs. What are you talking about? When there's an impressionable teenager, when you're an impressionable person, and you think you're taking this to alleviate some pain or whatever you got going on, this drug is so dangerous that even if this was your first time trying out the drugs, you can risk potential death. Even if it was just your first time trying it out. That's how potent and dangerous this is. Let me see what else I got going on for you guys. We should impale these scumbags. I agree, man. I agree. I don't have any sympathy because when I hear stories like what Brenda just shared, it kind of pisses me off. Because look, that doctor or that would-be doctor or that Looney Tune who calls himself a doctor, he has the knowledge. He has the wherewithal to know how addictive this drug is how highly addictive it is, how dangerous it is. But they peddle this stuff out. So as long as they can line their pockets, they'll push it. They'll prescribe it. And you got, your petty street dealers, those out there. If you can't get it from your local doctor, you'll find it on the black market. It's that simple. Guys, Trump actually echoed this same sentiment back in 2016, and I'm trying to find that video. He kind of said almost the exact same thing. Here it is. So this is roughly, I don't know. This is an old video, but he kind of said the same thing here, guys. And I'm wondering why he did not. I don't know. I wonder why he didn't talk about this as much as he should have during his campaign, during his administration. Like, why did he kind of like shy away from this? So I don't know. Here it is. So he's, like I said, he echoed the same sentiment before. So this is old video. Here it is.
Or a dealer or doctor or trafficker or a manufacturer, if you break the law and illegally peddle these deadly poisons, we will find you, we will arrest you, and we will hold you accountable.
There it is.
Thank you. Here in New Hampshire, I applaud all of the drug enforcement agents and law enforcement officers who recently coordinated
Fair use.
Operation Granite Shield, an 18-hour enforcement action targeting drug traffickers that resulted in the arrest of 151 people. These are terrible people, and we have to get tough on those people because we can have all the blue ribbon committees we want, but if we don't get tough on the drug dealers, we're wasting our time. Just remember that. We're wasting our time.
Yeah.
And that toughness includes the death penalty.
Kill him. Scare him off. Scare him.
You know, it's an amazing thing. Some of these drug dealers will kill thousands of people during their lifetime. Thousands of people. And destroy many more lives than that. But they will kill thousands of people during their lifetime.
See what I'm
And
talking
they'll get
about?
caught,
Oh
and
my
they'll get
God.
30 days in jail.
Let me pause this. Another story, another tragic loss. Deborah says, I lost my grandson to fentanyl last September. It was laced in a medication he took. Come on, guys. How long are we going to allow this to happen? I'm sorry for your loss, Deborah. I'm sorry for that. But if we don't get tough, if we don't get tough on this, guys, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Listen, for all my Christians out there who have these bleeding hearts for the criminals, for the victimizers, capital punishment is God's way. It's God's way. It's the only deterrent to evil minds that would lurk and stalk. Every single time you let one criminal get away with this, another evil mind will take advantage of the opportunity, and this cancer will grow worse and worse. Every single time we shift the narrative and put all of the empathy and all of the grace on the victimizer, oh, just, they've got to support their families. That's why they're selling drugs. It's not really hurting, they're not hurting anyone. No. We are not, listen, if you are a drug dealer and you are knowingly selling these drugs, peddling these drugs in your community, your time is coming to an end. Your time will be coming to an end. And if you don't face judgment in this lifetime, you will face judgment. You will face judgment for every single life that you have snuffed from out of existence. It's disgusting, man. It's just disgusting. Share the video out, guys. Share the video out. I'm gonna drop my link. Click the link, guys, if you have not subscribed. This is gonna take all of us. You're right. Trump's not gonna be Trump alone is not gonna be the solution to this problem. It literally has to take all of us. It has to take all of us. We have to all stand in one accord, one understanding on how to address this problem. Kill them. Kill them. They have no regard for our lives and the deaths, the hundreds and hundreds of deaths they've wrought upon families. You know what? We don't care about them. Kill them. Send them to God. God will execute his judgment. It's that simple. He will execute his judgment there. Guys, I got a little bit of time left. I don't know if anyone would like to get on here and share you know, maybe personal experience that have had with this, or, you know of anyone who may be in addiction now. I'll drop the link. If you guys want to jump on and share, you know, briefly, you know, your experience with this, perhaps maybe you are addicted to some sort of prescription drug yourself. I'll drop it. Uh-oh. But yeah, guys, I hope Trump is serious about this. I hope he doesn't walk it back. I hope he doesn't become, you know, ensconced in the whole politically correct. It has to, you know, we have to handle this a lot more diplomatically. No, he needs to take a hard line stance with this. Do not change your stance, Trump. This is the Trump we need. We need tough law and order, tough punishment. Yeah, that's just my thoughts, guys. Call me crazy. I don't, you know, whatever. But these are my thoughts. No, I understand, Deborah. You know, I understand. I totally get it. I totally get it. So yeah, where do we go as a nation, guys? Where do we go as a nation? We got to identify where these sources, the source of these drugs is coming from, and we have to put a stop to it. For one, let's shut our damn borders. Let's close our damn borders and stop allowing these human traffickers, these drug traffickers, into our country. He's the only one who can set this country straight and fast. Yeah, perhaps. More stupidity out of the moronic brain. What do you mean, AJ? What do you mean? What do you mean? Anyways, guys, if you agree that the the only way to solve this problem is the death penalty, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. If you believe that the only way we should address this problem, this drug epidemic, is to threaten the drug dealers with the death penalty, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. If you disagree, put a 2 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if you disagree. We definitely need to get rid of the Democrats. Absolutely. I don't know how the hell they're continually being voted in. I don't know who the hell is still voting for Democrats today, but they're the ones exacerbating these problems that we're having. They're the ones that's in favor for you know, lax drug enforcement, lax border control. So yeah, the Democrats, they're undermining our country and all of their policies along with it. So hopefully Trump, you know, as long as he stays focused, you know, stay focused, Trump. Stay focused this time. We don't need you deviating and having these little spats with the media. Stay focused on the American people. This is the Trump we need. This is the Trump we want. All right. Well, no one wanted to join. So, guys, I said this last night, so I'm going to say it again. I will not be broadcasting tomorrow, as well as, of course, Thanksgiving, guys. I will not. I will be sitting on my bum, eating a lot of food. Hopefully I won't gain too much weight, but I will be enjoying myself, and as should you guys. Spend some time with family. Have these discussions. I know it's uncouth to talk about politics and culture and religion with family. Yeah, well, honestly, I think that whole mantra has completely like hollowed out a lot of family discussion because we don't talk about these things. We need to talk about these damn things. I'm tired of having shallow, superficial discussions. It doesn't have to get heated. We don't have to get contentious with each other, but I definitely think, like I said, we need to have a conversation. We need to talk about it. What's a viable path moving forward? I'm always talking about that. What is the viable path moving forward? I appreciate you guys. I really do. Like the video. Subscribe. I'll drop my link in the chat once more. Oops. Where's that? If you have not subscribed, hit the link, guys. I will be seeing you guys back on Friday, I believe. Yeah, Friday. Let's drop it here. Let's put the little doop, 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 doop. There it is. Bow. All right, guys. I just dropped the link. So if you have not subscribed, please hit that click that link. It'll take you directly to my page. Hit the notification bell, all that good stuff, guys. I really appreciate your support. Listen, even for those who disagree, it's okay. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But I would like to know what other alternatives would you propose in addressing this issue? Getting soft on crime has not done anything to move the needle forward in any form, shape, or fashion. If anything, it has completely done the opposite. It's exacerbated the problems that we see today in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday. Be thankful, be grateful for what we have. Deborah and Brenda, our love and our hearts go out to you and yours, as well as the rest of you guys. I appreciate you guys. And as I always say, I am speaking truth and reality. And I promise you, in time, we will reinstitute morality. Have a good night.
And you ain't black.